everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Lights. I am your host, Keisha King Benton. Welcome, 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 everyone. We are an hour behind tonight. Normally, we do the show at 8 o'clock, but I am having a lot of problems still. So I can't even log on to my X to show you guys the story. So I'm trying to find it on Facebook. Anyway, we're still gonna go and talk about this. But as I go throughout the week, I'm tomorrow probably I'm gonna repost this portion and I'll add in the pieces that I didn't get to add in. So I saw this. So you guys have probably heard about it by now. Let me just say what's up to the chat too. Welcome. Thank you. Jesus loves you for being a moderator. Thank you guys for tuning in. It really means a lot to me. All right. Okay. So Simone Biles. So she is the gymnast. She is a phenomenal gymnast. There was some controversy with her a few years back where she was supposed to. Oh wait, can you guys hear me good? Hold on. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, cool. All right. So she got into a little bit of controversy a few years back where she was at the Olympics and she just quit because she was like, oh, my anxiety, or she had like some kind of mental health something. And so, all right, cool. Thank you. Jesus loves you. So after all that cleared up, now my daughter, my oldest daughter, she was like a big gymnast fan. She loved Gabby, and then like when Simone came out, she loved her. But when she quit the Olympics, my daughter was like, I don't like that. And I was like, oh, well, maybe. Da, da, da. My daughter was like, no, Mom, you don't do that. You quit. She quit on her team. And my daughter was just like, she just lost a lot of respect for her. And I'm telling you that because I feel like my daughter was kind of insightful. Okay. Thank you, Karen. And so she is back in the news again. Because she tweeted at Riley Gaines, who is a swimmer that had to compete with a man, had to get undressed in the locker room in front of a man, had to watch this man just exposing himself in front of these young women. This man who thinks he is a woman. Let me see if I can find this tweet. I don't know. My thing is not working. I don't know what's going on with my computer at all. Okay, so let's see. Okay. You know what? Let me just share my screen with y'all so y'all can see what I'm seeing. Karen, thank you. Yes, she is smart. She is smart. All right. Okay, so all right. Let's try to bring this in so you guys can see. Get rid of that. All right. I wish I could bring it over still just a little bit. Anyway, okay. All right. So a few days ago, I think about 2 days ago, Riley was talking about you see this comments off to be expected when your star player is a boy. I forget exactly what the post was about now because I can't log into my freaking Twitter. Oh gosh, I hate this. Let me try one more time because I want to see. Do y'all remember? I can't see what Riley originally tweeted. I want to give y'all. Okay, here we go. Now it's working. Gosh. All right. Let's see. I want to find this for you guys. I'm sorry. Thanks for for bearing with me because I think what bear with me because what this is just the surface. This tweet and all this is just the surface. Y'all know what we do over here. We're going to go deeper. Like there is a deeper meaning in all of this. So just let me find this. It's going to be worth it. I promise you. But I want to give the full context here. But you know, is this it? Okay, I think this is it. Wait, that ain't it. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay. So let me share this tab instead. All right. So here we go. So Riley tweeted, she was talking about this picture here, the Minnesota State high school league. Meet Chaplin Park, the class AA, blah, 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 state champion for 2025. But they turned their comments off because there is a boy on this team. And so Riley said, comments off, LOL, to be expected when your star player is a boy, which she is right. She's right. And thank you, Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you for reminding people to subscribe, share the video, like the video, all those things. Okay, so that's what started the beef. Then out of nowhere, here comes Simone. She's done, triple flipped her little self into this Riley's business, And so she responds and she says, bully someone your own size, Simone, bully someone your own size, which would ironically be a male. And then she added Riley. So Riley said, exactly, Karen, all this stuff is destroying, it's destroying America. It is destroying the West. But I want y'all to, I believe that there is something else going on here with Simone Biles. Y'all stick with me. We're going to get to it. Okay. So Riley's minding her business, doing what she's been doing, just talking about the boys being in girls sports forever. This is not anything new. Simone comes in, comments, but bully someone your own size, which would ironically be a male. So she's trying to drag Riley and say, you look like a man. Okay. Then Riley's like, this is so disappointing. My take is the least controversial take on the planet. Simone Biles being a male apologist at the expense of young girls' dreams. Didn't have that on my bingo card. Maybe she could compete in a pommel horse and rings in 2028. In a pommel horse, I don't even know what that is. So This really pissed me off if you can't tell, because of the sneakiness, the sinisterness. Now, this is my theory, what I'm going to say, but I think I'm right. Okay. So she says that. Then Simone says, Riley Gaines, she asks her, "You are truly sick." Riley's sick. All of this campaigning because you lost a race. Straight up loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive, or creating a new avenue where trans feel safe in sports. Maybe a transgender category in all sports. But instead, you bully them. One thing's for sure is no one in sports is safe with you around. Baby girl, I feel like AL's baby girl. What? How old is Simone? How old is she? She's 28. Riley's 25. These are good and grown women, okay? Simone is older and is the one acting less mature. But moving on. So she says, "You're sick. You're truly sick. All of this campaigning because you lost a race. Straight up loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive, or creating an avenue where trans feel safe in sports, maybe a transgender category in all sports, but instead you bully them. One thing for sure is that no one in sports is safe with you around." Oh, really, Simone? Okay. Okay, then Sage still responded, but we're gonna focus on just Riley and Simone. She says, okay, we already read that part. But listen, now, mind you, Simone, you remember the Olympic trainer that was molesting the little girls? She testified in that trial, because I can't remember if she was actually one of the girls who was being molested, but she did testify. And Riley says all the horrific sexual abuse Simone Biles witnessed and spoke out against, caused by one man, yet believes women should be forced to strip naked in front of men to validate the man's feelings. You know how many gold medals you'd have if your inclusive dream came true? Zero. Again, smarter, more mature. This is really good. Somebody named Taylor Silverman says, if Larry Nasser, which is the PDF file, if Larry Nasser came out as trans, would you want him moved to a women's prison? Good question. And so she also tweeted Simone Biles when she had to endure a predatory man versus Simone Biles when other girls have to endure a predatory man. Riley Gaines is dragging, okay? Riley Gaines is reading, okay? Riley is she understands the assignment. I'm here for it because I am sick and tired of people like a Simone. And we're gonna, y'all just keep it, just hold tight. Just hold tight. Because I want you to see how nasty Simone has been. And then she says she hardly stood up for the trans community, but instead just personally attacked someone who stands up for women and girls. Prepare for an astronomically embarrassing ratio. True. Let me go and okay, I like that one. Let me go and just okay. And so Riley's trolling. She's like, here's her husband, her height, let's see. But we found that Riley found a post. I don't know who found the post, but there is a post from Simone a little from back in the day. Now let's see what she said, and this is very important to my theory. Let's see. Let's play this. What is this?
Are you gonna grow? I'm not going anywhere. Question I wish people would stop asking me is, how tall are you? Are you gonna grow? I'm not.
So she was picked on a lot when she was younger because of her having a more muscular body. Well, obviously, if you're certainly in gymnastics, y'all know the gymnast girls, their bodies be very muscular. Swimmers, like, right, especially if you're doing this professionally or you're in college, you're going to be very muscular. Okay, shoot, I was a cheerleader, and my body was pretty much, I mean, nowhere near theirs, but even still, for being a cheerleader, just when you're in sports, you're gonna have more muscles. Okay, but then they found that's funny, they found a post let's hear what she said.
In women's gymnastics, I guess yesterday, Simone Biles, the Olympic gymnast, the best of the best, bar none. There is no one else even remotely in her league in women's gymnastics. I guess in an attempt to be inclusive and virtuous, decided to sell out all women and girls who have dreams to achieve and to succeed, and to specifically personally attack and body shame me. She tweeted this out of the blue, like this came out of nowhere, and she said, Riley, me, you're truly sick, all of this campaigning because you lost a race. First of all, if she's insinuating I lost to a man, I've lost several races in my career, duh, that's part of being an athlete. But if she's saying I lost to a man, that's factually incorrect. We tied, besides the point. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive, or creating a new avenue where trans feel safe in sports. Let me get something straight. It's my job. It's the women's job. This is what Simone Biles is saying. It's the women's job to find a way for the men's feelings to be validated.
That is exactly what I was thinking as I was reading. I was like, so why is it Riley's responsibility to go and create some inclusive? Shouldn't that be the trans people? If you want to put on a wig and a dress and then run around and pretend that you're a woman, y'all can go and compete, make a private category, and y'all have run, swim, jump, crawl, hop, skip to your heart's content. Nobody's going to stop you. But why is that Riley's responsibility to organize and create such category? If you are so concerned about it, Simone, why don't you go create it? You're the champion for the women, the men putting on wigs and dresses and lipstick with a full freaking beard talking about I'm a man. You go and create the all-inclusive organization, because you're the one who wants it. You're the one that thinks it should. In fact, why don't you and all your trans friends go and create this category? That, like, if this is your heart's content, this is what you believe in, this is why you think you were put on this earth. It wasn't for gymnastics. It wasn't so you can, win medals for the United States and participate and do all these wonderful things that your talent has afforded you to do. Maybe it was for you to go and create a trans category for the Olympics and sports. Why don't you go do that, Simone? I mean, since that's what you want to do, why is it everybody else's responsibility? These people make me sick.
Their identity to be affirmed. That's not my job, actually, at all. So to say I should be doing this is insane. If she wants to use her platform to uplift men and women's sports, then by all means, but it's certainly not my job, and I don't believe it's the job of any woman to do this. She goes on to say, but instead you bully them. One thing's for sure, no one in sports is safe with you around. I can't even make sense of that last part, actually.
Right.
Then out of the blue, she tweeted this. bully someone your own size, which would ironically be a male, which is hilarious, really for two reasons. Number one, she's acknowledging there are differences, like physiological, biological differences between men and women in saying this. Secondly, I'm 5'5", which might seem like a giant to someone who's like 4'7", 4'8", but I'm pretty standard size for a woman. I guess like relatively muscular, right? Being an athlete, I would imagine Simone would understand that, but I weigh like 135 pounds, 5'5", of pretty much pure muscle. And again, if anyone would understand that, you would think it's Simone Biles, a woman who has historically been scrutinized for having a very muscular, masculine looking body. She was
Yes, she has been scrutinized. In fact, Simone's body is way more muscular and masculine looking to me than Riley's. Talk about projection. Do y'all think that, or am I bugging? My husband says their bodies are pretty similar. I personally think that Simone's body is much more muscular and she's just bigger to me. Thank you so much for the support, 02122. Good to see you. You said I went to gymnastics school with Simone Biles as a kid. I beat her in a somersault contest when I was 7. She ain't gonna compete with boys. She ain't want to compete with boys back then. Okay. Oh gosh, what else did you say? Thank you so much. But I just find that so crazy. And for her to say that, this is again building. I'm building my case here for why I believe what I'm going to tell you. But this is part of that. Like, if you at one time went through this, why are you now pretending like that didn't even happen? Like, you don't even know what why would you do that? But let's continue.
was scrutinized to the point she did this whole body positivity campaign. Then she has the nerve to say that I look like a man. And not to mention, this is a woman who has been incredibly brave in calling out and witnessing the horrific sexual abuse that she and hundreds of other female gymnasts faced at the hands of one sexual predator, that predator being Larry Nassar. In the same breath, believing that vulnerable women should be forced to strip down naked in front of men in locker rooms so long as it makes the man feel happy. If Larry Nassar came out as trans, would Simone think it's responsible or safe for him to be housed in a women's prison? To be very, very clear, I could care less what Simone Biles says about me. I'm a very secure person. I know I'm on the right side of history. I'm married, so if she wants to say I look like a man, I literally could care less. The most heartbreaking part about this, for me, is the platform that she has and the amount of young girls who look up to her. That she just, in a blink of an eye, sold out to appear to be virtuous. What we saw from Simone is the definition of pulling up the ladder behind you. Something people like Megan Rapinoe have also done. I have a feeling that if Simone's inclusive dream came true, she would have 0 Olympic medals and no one would even know who she is. So if she wants to advocate for men and women's sports, by all means, it's America. You get to do that. I get to call you stupid for it, but you get to do that. Maybe in the 28 Olympics, she can compete and pommel horse in the rings. But I am going to keep standing up for women and girls, which is just about the least controversial take on the entire planet. If you can remove yourself from the opinions of the elite, of mainstream media, of Hollywood, of any elected representation, the position that I have taken is the same position that about 90% of Americans have taken, which is that men should not be in women's sports. Simone Biles.
Yeah, Simone is for they, them. Mrs. Graves says this. Simone is shorter, but very muscular, beautiful, strong, fit. But my God, to attempt to shame a woman's body, isn't that a big leftist feminist no-no? Right? Isn't that a no-no? You know, a good point, Mrs. Graves. I think I do think Simone has gotten much prettier. Pretty, you know, I think she's more attractive now that she's gotten older, and she might have had a little work done to kind of soften her up. But I don't think I don't know. But I think Simone needs to just like pipe down a little bit, because I'm not trying to make it about looks, but it's like, we're talking about looks. Like you're coming for the way Riley looks. You were talking about looks. Like, ma'am, you cute. You look better now, but you haven't always been, and many of us, we go through that phase, you know, but you haven't always been the hottest thing on the block either, ma'am. So you might want to pipe that down a bit. Anyway, moving on. So then she said, Simone says in 2017, right here, good thing guys don't compete against girls, or he'd take all the gold medals. And she was talking about okay, that doesn't even exist anymore. And then somebody said, "You're truly sick, straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting her." And somebody put it back on her. But yeah, she got well, I guess she didn't really get super ratioed. But at one point, she knew that boys competing against girls was bad. So let's get into what my theory is, okay? So y'all know, I like to, I'm a bit more, I'm a more deeper thinker, and I think we all are around here. But I think that Simone has been activated. Now, what do I mean by activated? So back in the day, the Communist Party, progressives, communists, whatever, they infiltrated any institution that they could. Churches, schools, universities, y'all, we already know this. The government, obviously. Simone is a celebrity. Now, she's got a few things going for her that communists absolutely love. Okay, one, she's famous, and she has a clean image. She's married, she's young, she's cute. Everybody loves Simone Biles. She's phenomenal in what she does. All that. And she's Black, and she's a woman. And she's willing to put her principles and her beliefs to the side for something else. Now, what is this something else that Simone would be really willing to push her beliefs for? To push. She doesn't know that it's communism. She probably doesn't even know it's progressivism. But I believe that Simone has been activated to work for the left, to work for the Democrat Party. Why in the world? Simone does not really, I had checked the other day. She made one or two posts about, Black Lives Matter and, As far as I can see, I have not seen where she was just one of these just everything, I saw her say something about the Black Lives Matter. I saw her say something about, I haven't seen her really say much, but all of a sudden, you go, nobody was talking to you. Nobody was talking to you. Nobody added you. You just hopped into this conversation to the biggest, you chimed in to one of the biggest advocates against men being in women's sports, inserted yourself into this conversation and made this whole big splash. And so then, we even got, of course, these people had to jump in there. And this is why I believe this is a psyop. I think that she's been activated. They are using Simone Biles to push their leftist propaganda. So this is the human rights Facebook post. Now you know these people are woke as well. This is the same place where Jasmine Crockett was speaking, and she was like talking about Governor Greg Abbott, and she made those comments like, "Oh, we gotta roll him out of here" or something like that. The human rights people. This is what they said. The goat. I'm trying to make this bigger. The GOAT has spoken, greatest of all time. And she truly is greatest of all time in gymnastics. She wouldn't be that if she had to compete with men, though. The GOAT has spoken. Simone Biles dragged Riley Gaines, the greatest sore loser of all time, for continuing to bully trans athletes. Thank you, Simone, for showing up for our community. We love you. And they quoted what she said. 7-time Olympic champion Simone Biles dragging a fifth place SEC swimmer who loves bullying trans people. Wow. Anyway, I do not believe for a second that this was not that she has been being approached. I think she has probably been pushed, rather, probably in a, you know, how they typically do it. Like if you listen to the BLM people, if you look at how they tell you how they radicalize people and how they bring them into the organization. So they go and try to poach people that have, you know, insecurities, rough, you grew up rough, you know, got a lot of chaos and craziness going on. Now she doesn't fit the craziness part, but the insecurity about her body, the you know, being criticized and called to the carpet about, you know, wanting to not be a part of the Olympics and stuff. Just people that have trauma, you know, people that they like people that they're messy and got trauma things going on. And I think Simone falls into that because first she was adopted. See, I know you probably think that none of these things matter, but you need a certain type of person to believe you're crap. Everybody isn't so easily swayed by you know, by things that by the propaganda, by the media, da, da, da. But if you have a lot of trauma in your child, if you have, you know, things going on in your life that you haven't quite dealt with, they can definitely, you are a great candidate for people like communists. And for Simone Biles to literally come out of nowhere and attack the most popular, and you notice these people punch up. Nobody was like, what who's bothering you? You go and you attacked Riley Gaines, the most popular activist, anti-trans activist, and you make this big hubbub about it. Now NBC's talking about it. I would venture to bet that she's going to start speaking up about other political topics. And they're going to try to use her as a face to help promote their message. She may be the next POTUS. That wouldn't go that far. Sorry, my daughter is, hold on, y'all. But no, I don't yes, of course, Miss Graves. But I do think so the Democrats are stuck right now. Now, most of the people that have been in the, let me make myself bigger so we can talk. Now we can talk about all of this. Okay. So most of the Democrats who have been in the political scene for quite some time now, they yes. That was my daughter, the one who was like, nah, I don't like Simone. But what was I gonna say? What was I saying? Oh, so the Democrats don't really have a leader right now. They don't really have anybody popping, on their side. Like nobody, everybody who's been involved in politics, it's like, like we're not feeling Hakeem, we're not feeling AOC, we're not feeling, and when I say we, I mean like Americans as a whole. Like most of us are totally through. The Democrats are in their numbers are in the dumps, right? Americans do not like the Democrats. I think their party approval rating is like 27%. It might even be lower than that at this point. Let's see. It was, what is it? 27%. It's supposed to be coming back right now, but that might be because of Simone. People are like, oh, but anyway, she's a fresh face to the left. She's not somebody that we've been bombarded with over the years. She's not, people would be interested to hear more of what she has to say because she hasn't really spoken out about these things. She could actually lead people. She could actually be and because she has, stood up against, Nasser, it kind of provides that, well, see, she's not going, she's just standing up for what's right. She's not one of these people that would overlook something like that. I mean, look what she went and sat before Congress. Look, I believe that exactly. Oh, Miss Graves, you are on it. America's sweetheart, gold medalist, the GOAT, Simone Biles. She was adopted. She had a rough childhood. Now she's an Olympian. She has a great story, and she's this little black girl who just beat all the odds. Oh yeah, she is the perfect candidate. She is the perfect candidate to try to win people back over. Because most people, we're not trying to hear from these, the Maxine Waters and the freaking Stacey Abrams and Jasmine Crown. We don't like, nobody wants to hear these people because it's too political. But if Simone Biles comes in, which who said this earlier? Which I think is great. Let's see. Where is it? Look, y'all. Broski, what's up, Broski? He said bile is a greenish yellow fluid produced by the liver that plays a crucial role in digestion. Let me tell you, I'm familiar with bile because when I was pregnant, I got real familiar with bile. And then he said, Simone Bile. Okay. But yeah, people they don't think of her in a disgusting way yet. She ain't got on our nerves yet. She hasn't pushed this stuff to where we're like, open your mouth one more time and I'm going to, I'm about to, you're going to not want to open your mouth. Miss Graves, Leah Thomas took the first NCAA national spot. Riley was second, and Leah was vying for the Olympic team, and they went to court to stop Leah Thomas. Yes, they did. Yep. Hey there, Joe Nobody. Again, thank you, 02122, for the super sticker. Miss Karen says, I hope she creates a category for gymnastics. Yeah, I would love to see her do that. Let's see what else we got. Miss Karen says China. Maybe that's why she's doing it. Influence from China, which is it certainly could be, because y'all know the athletes in America, they love them some Chinese products and business deals and all kind of stuff. Let's see. Miss Gray says she'll run on being a champion for the rainbow movement and progressive in civil rights. I can see it. Plus, they train them. Yes, they do train them. You don't go up in there and not train. Oh no, they train them. She had said, okay, I thought she had said a few things here and there. You're talking about Marita. You're talking about with like the black, like BLM. I think she said some stuff in 2020, but I haven't heard her say, she hasn't really been saying like a lot of stuff. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, she does. She has said a few things, but not to this level. Like she's never been like, whoom, like a Taylor Swift or like a kind of like the generic. I was kind of seeing her like, yeah, kind of more generic. Um Miss Graves says, if I worked my whole life to be an Olympian, it was literally cheating to steal the spot, it would be such a heartbreaking experience. This is why this does not make sense to me, because if anybody understands what Riley went through, Simone does. This is not real. I just don't believe it. If anybody knows what she's talking about, Simone knows, because she is an athlete too, and she knows that men are stronger, and if they competed with her, that she would lose. So she's not crazy. She knows. And if she knows that, why would she now be making these statements? Now, we are not too far from the midterms. See, the Democrats, they don't play like they after November 5th. I think I was at the Walmart by myself, but I was up there and they, right after the election, they were already registering people to vote. They are, to me, this is a plan this is a political ploy by the left. This whole Simone, whether it's for the midterms and beyond, or it's just to stir up strife to make more, like going back and forth, this black girl going against this white girl. Cricket says Simone just hates white people. I don't think she hates white people. I think wasn't she adopted by white folks? Was Simone adopted by white people? Oh, she was, wait. Okay, no, her mom isn't white. She's something. She's like, how many more people can be eligible to vote? Okay, so no, but I don't think, I think her mom is black. Okay, so yeah, her parents are, but anyway, I don't think she hates white people. She's been around white people all her life. If she makes negative comments about white people, that's a psyop. It's a psyop too. It is not real. She will be saying it. You have flipped and flopped with these white girls your whole entire life. There is no way you can hate white people. She's doing this because she's been activated. That's what I think. What do y'all think? Those are my thoughts. When I saw this, first of all, I kind of just read the tweet again, and I was just like, huh. And then I retweeted and I said, shame on you, Simone, because it, you know what? I was just reading it, and just kind of going through the news, and I'm like, makes no sense for Simone Biles. She just doesn't come off as that girl. Like, you're not I'm about to shave my head, I'm a lefty, I'm a this, I'm a that. No, this is, and she might get there. And if she keeps going down this road, because they're going to want her to be more feminist, and she's married, and she probably wants to have children. And her husband, if he's any kind of a real man, he's not going to be trying to hear that feminist stuff. Stimulated students. Hi, stimulated students. He said, leftists play the long game. What's now flowering are from seeds planted decades ago. Correct. The problem, in my estimation, of that, Christians have no long-term plan for the nations. We don't. We do not. Let's see. Marita Mara says she knows what a competition is, but forgets what competition is. She's so much better than the others, except during the trials. I didn't know that. I didn't watch her all that much. Stimulated says, we have not been planting the seeds of righteousness. No, we haven't. We have not. Jesus Love You says, you might be right, Keisha. Just got to keep our eye on her. We got to keep watching her. Yeah, that's true. Because I could be wrong. I mean, she could have just had a bad moment and, had a moment of diarrhea at the mouth. But she kept going back and forth. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Oh, this is good too. Joseph Davis said Simone was convinced that she needed to earn some liberal social justice warrior cred to launch her post-gymnastics career. Could be. Similarly, Stephen says fame is something that can control people who don't have a strong sense of identity. That is true. You can either gradually fade out of the spotlight or become infamous. You may be fearful of both. True. It is being someone, I used to be in the music industry. Y'all know that. And I have seen young ladies do some really crazy stuff for fame and all that stuff. So people, when it feels like the end is coming near or whatever, she might be feeling like she needs a new boost and doesn't want to lose that. But I mean, I was looking at her posts and everything. I mean, she's on this channel and that channel. And she's got this endorsement and that endorsement. She's speaking over here. She just was like, she was an honorary doctorate speaker, so she's here, there, and everywhere. But it's like, why throw your hat into the political ring? Like, that is it can really hurt your career. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, throwing your hat into the political ring is a very, when you already have another career, that's not a wise thing to do. And so I think she has been convinced. I don't think this was just I just got something to say and I'm just going to say it. I think that this is something that people have probably been like seeding her with, because there are forces that do want her to be more political. I don't know. I do. I think this is just way too odd for me. It is way too out of the blue. It is just way too harsh. That was even if you didn't agree with Riley, why would you go after her like that? Like, that was hard. You did not have to say all that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she got chips too. She wanted out. Yeah. I think people have been telling her to do something like this. If she continues down this path, she will become infamous. Yes, she will. PM channel says, Keisha at the Keisha King Show. I agree. PM channel also says this could severely backfire and destroy her brand. People on social media can destroy. I hope she did not say that for that reason. It would be a bad move. So a lot of times how these things work is the celebrity or whatever, they say the thing, and then it'll die down, and then they'll come back, and then something else will happen, and then they'll say something else. So it's like this, it's like slowly moving them over, into the world, and then they become like this big activist. Look at, y'all know Jane Fonda? Jane Fonda was a big communist. The Communist Party has done this, radicalized and activated a lot of celebrities throughout the years. Like, this is an old tactic. I'm gonna keep doing some research about the tactics that they use, like how do they draw people in, because it's also very much how cults move. Y'all know, I think the Democrat Party is a cult, and communism is pretty much a cult too. The tactics that they use are very similar to cults, and so I would like to see what I could find of just like people she's been hanging out with, or just different, I don't know, you never know what you can find if you start digging. Let's see. Now, why are so many Black women pushing the trans issue? This is a great question, and I think I have an answer. So, I don't think that Black women are pushing the trans issue. Now, yes, they are pushing the trans issue as far as like, oh, we got to stand up for trans, blah, 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 blah. But Black women, here's the tea. Black women will push anything that the Democrats are for. It don't matter. Like, it's not that they are for whatever the Democrat Party tells them to be for. Because if you notice, Black women weren't saying anything about trans until they told them to. Now here's a new group that we must get behind. Here's a new people that we have to just stand behind these people, because like where did that come from? But if you ask them one-on-one, they don't agree with this stuff. But the party is a cult, so they have to. That's the thing. It don't matter. They have to be for reproductive rights. They have to be for abortion. They have to be for being racist towards white folks. They have to be about the DEI. They have to be about critical race theory. They have to be whatever the Democrat Party tells them, because that is their God. It is. Have you ever seen anybody react? You totally lose your mind. How does somebody say in 2017, how do you know? Now she's 28. 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, she was 20 years old. So at 20 years old, almost a decade ago, you knew that men and women's sports was bad. Now all of a sudden you don't know. Not only do you not know, you're advocating for it. A human being does not make that type of leap in logic without influence. She did not make that without being influenced. Simulation is sad to think. It's sad that Black women are so devoid of an identity that they are just the Democratic Party mascots. But again, that's a failure of male leadership. There you go. Mrs. Graves says, I could not imagine changing basic reality for a political party. And you know what, Mrs. Graves, and everybody listening, you don't think about it like that. That the way that cults and how they bring you in, they kind of love bomb you, they make you think all these things are so great and wonderful. You don't feel like it's for the political party, you feel like it's for people. This is for the people. I have to do this because these people will suffer if I don't speak out. You don't feel like you're doing it for the party. You feel like you're doing it for doing what's right to people because they have convinced you and lied to you that that's what it is. But we all know that it ain't. But those are my thoughts on this situation. I am so disappointed in Simone Biles once again. Before with the quitting, you quit during the Olympics, not because of a body injury, a physical injury, because you're like, oh, my mental health, well, clearly you got some stuff going on. Maybe I should have given you a little bit more grace, Simone, because, you don't know the difference now between men and women. Like, what the freak? This is crazy. But it's just so sad. It is. To see people who have so much potential, you have potential to actually say and do what's right, and this is what you choose. You choose to advocate for men going into spaces and competing with women. I have no respect for you. I have zero respect. I have no respect for anybody who advocates for this. I just don't. And again, I think that this is I don't think that this is by accident. I don't think it's by coincidence. I think this was a strategic target to Riley Gaines for Simone Biles to catapult herself into the political arena. That's what I think. Y'all, we need to pray. Miss Graves says, Keisha, that makes sense. Thank you. And she also says we need to pray for the midterms and pray more, wake up for their own benefit and betterment. Yes, we do. So as believers, we must be on the lookout and paying attention to people. Our business, we're in the people business, and we come into contact with different people. We want to minister to them. We want to help them along the way. And we want to draw them nearer to Christ. We want them to experience this wonderful family that we get to have. And so, yes, we need to continue to pray for Simone and all the people that we spread this message to. Also, pray for those who are already on this side, who are still talking about these things, who put their energy and their time and everything into, whether it's the content, whether you're writing, whether you are, people that are in the good fight of faith. So I'm praying for all of you. And I thank you all for watching and hearing me out. I was kind of like, I don't know, I have been kind of, learning and reading about the communists and all of these things for so long that I feel like, I don't want to say that, like, I don't want to be the person like where everything, when you're a nail, everything is when you're a hammer, everything is a nail. Yeah, I don't want to be that where it's like, oh, they're everywhere, it's a comment. But some of these things, especially these bigger stories and stuff, they really are like, this is what's really happening. And so we have to talk about it. But this is what they do. They infiltrate, and they do it like it was always under secrecy. It was always secret meetings, secret trainings, secret ways to secretly infiltrate different institutions. So it's not gonna be blow right in your face. It's going to look, they want it to look as natural, as organic as possible. Or they take an event that has already happened and then they, throw themselves in it and try to monkey it up. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think about what I think in the comment section below. Like I said, I will be posting this throughout different topics throughout the week. So make sure you tune into those. Turn on your notifications if you have not already, so you never miss another upload. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry about being late. We're just trying to get this new computer working right. And I will see you throughout the week and on next Monday. Bye-bye. Oh, and thank you, Jesus Loves You, for moderating. And thank you to the chat. Bye.